Howdy.
Good evening, all.
How we doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
You doing well? You look good, too.
Big night.
You look like you just jumped out of Kingsman or something.
Big night. Big announcement.
Yeah. I dressed up in my finest, too.
I can tell.
Hey, I put pants on.
Too bad you didn't shower.
It's been a busy day.
All right. Let's
well,
thank people.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We will get to the announcement right away. But we like to thank everybody at first because it's just, proper etiquette. Let's thank 204 Comics. We were both in there separately within like 20 minutes yesterday, so that was kind of dumb and cool.
I went in there. I was sort of killing time. I figured you were still working, and I was chatting with Ashley and Bobby, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if Nathan's going to be in or not. And they go, oh, he left 20 minutes ago. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah. But I got there, I talked to them as well. They were putting out the books and that. And then I happened to pop in there today just for a few minutes to drop off books for another person. For Tim. Maybe Tim's watching tonight. If he does, hey man, how's it going? And it was just Bobby today because Ashley is actually on a little bit of a vacation this weekend. But
I knew that.
I won't say where because that's his business, not ours. And I'd also like to thank the Big Country guys. Justin and that, they got books out right now that are awesome books. I hope everybody has checked them out. We've mentioned them all in the last few weeks. That Twig book is really, really good. There's so many awesome covers out for that Twig one. I saw you pre-ordered another couple off the site.
I do. I like the Calvin and Hobbes one, and that 8-bit one was pretty cool.
I wish I would have picked up that Cookie Monster homage one that Dean had earlier, but I didn't because I decided to get some of the ones from Justin. Hey C, how's it going? Hey Scott. And then the things are getting sketchy, guys. They are not having a show this weekend. They've decided to take the weekend off. There's been a lot of traveling. It's tax time. I did my taxes today. I'm taking it in the butt. So everybody's taking off this weekend, but it is
it's
you want
both.
to thank
it's
them.
both.
But there's something I would like to announce that's in the works. Me and Stefan, who just showed up in the chat room there, who runs the Things Are Getting Sketchy group. They have a group called Things Are Getting Dicey, and it is a D&D group, and I'm going to be doing some DMing for them. So I'll inform you guys as we get more details on that. But if that's something that you guys like, DM and stuff, join that group or check it out, and I'll give you more info as it comes because I'm a pretty wicked DMer, you gotta admit.
Yeah, you're not bad. It's been a few years, hasn't it?
I only did it for that 2 years too. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I made lots of cool props and stuff.
Yeah, you can still.
I'll show
you
later.
Can't quite see them behind.
Awesome.
We'll save that for Things Getting Dicey.
All right. And so that's about it. But do you want it? Let's start the cool announcement then.
Yeah. Without further ado, here we go.
Throw that cover up.
Hold on.
Okay.
We've been talking about it. And
hinting here and there.
And I think we've even said what the book is, or it's been mentioned on tags for sure, as talked about.
Yeah, different platforms.
But that book is Spectro, and this is cover A here. So it's a bit of a sci-fi horror, not quite horror.
No, it says horror.
Is it horror? I haven't seen it to be quite horror-like from what we've seen about it.
Anybody
but definitely creepy.
Anybody who likes like Tales from the Dark Side or Outer Limits, or some of the more creepier Twilight Zones. This is right up your alley. From Aftershock. It is from Juan Doe, super hot artist and writer right now. That is his real name before we start getting any kind of John Doe stuff going on out there. That is his real name. He's a great artist. I've seen most of the book. It's a great story as well. This is right up our alley because, again, like Tyler is saying, we love that kind of horror, sci-fi, monster anthology stuff. And this book is a one-shot, but it's a one-shot of 4 anthologies in there. Or sorry, 4 stories in there in anthologies. And it's something that I know a lot of people don't care for, but I've really jumped on the wagon for this. I really like them a lot. I think it's because it makes me think back to when I was a kid, the old Treasury size editions.
Yeah.
But this book is one of those Aftershock Prestige formats. So those bigger ones that we always see. So I'm very excited about that because it's such a huge canvas for awesome artwork to be displayed. And
Okay, well, hold on.
Well, no, I got a couple more things to go through. I know
you do, hold on. You're talking too much here.
Well, there's a lot to go through.
Let's let one of our guests tonight talk.
Oh yeah, well, that's what I was gonna do.
Okay, that's what I'm doing.
I was gonna introduce our cover artist, who is Michael Bergland, out of Vancouver. I'm pretty sure it's Vancouver, but definitely BC. He's been on the tag shows, and I'm sure some of you have seen some of his artwork. We've been posting a lot of his auctions and stuff. I've been buying a lot of the auctions and stuff. So
yeah,
he's a great artist.
You're solely funding him.
Yeah, and this is not only our first solo cover of an exclusive cover, because the last two we did, we partnered up with Justin from Big Country, but this is solely done by us, and it is Michael's first cover as well too.
Yeah.
So I'll let Tyler. We have a video here, a little clip. We got Michael jumping in and introducing himself and the book. So here we go.
Here we go. Here's Michael Bergland in his debut cover.
And interview. Our intro.
Unless it decides it's not going to play.
Hi everybody, my name is Michael Bergland. I'm a self-taught artist from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I would like to thank NatDaddy Collectibles and Nathan Duncan for this opportunity for my first ever variant cover, and I'd also like to thank Aftershock Comics for accepting my artwork as well. And it was a lot of fun, super exciting to do. It's a large prestigious format book, so not your typical comic book size. And the writer's name is Wando. And you can find me at Instagram at Michael Bergland or at Facebook at Michael Bergland. The original art will be for sale once the official release the official cover actually happens. I believe that's sometime next week. And I'm super excited to finally show that as well. And so everybody, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and thanks again. Bye. Hi everybody.
Started again there almost. Yeah. So that's Michael. And what you see there is just a sketch. So he actually decided that he'd show off the sketch there and talk a little bit about it. Here is with the final colors. It doesn't have the trade dressing on it yet.
This is the Virgin cover. There's one that comes with Spectral written across the top there where you can see the guys looking up at. Luckily, we're going to have copies of both. We decide to, again, I like the idea of this being such a large canvas. I wanted to have both versions of the book, so we will be selling one of each. We don't have prices yet because it is a larger size, so we have to kind of figure out the difference. So it will be a little bit more, but definitely worth it. And yes, I without even asking Michael, we will definitely be getting signed and graded. I don't know if they're grading versions of this book yet, though. That's the only problem.
Yeah, I don't know if they are with the... They must be, because Big Country takes, for their prestige format, they got the Lion and Eagle.
I guess that's true.
Mike Ruth.
Yeah, CBCS must be offering that size. So I remember them saying that on the show the other night.
Yeah.
So yes, we will definitely for sure have that option. We like to do that for all our stuff. So I will say for sure we will have, like we said, not even just the graded ones, but we're going to get Michael to have autographed ones too. So this is all just preview right now. We will start having the pre-sales next week. I believe on the 14th we'll start it.
I believe so.
And we'll even have the original artist there, the Wando. He has an exclusive, not exclusive, but a ratio variant in as well.
Yeah.
So we'll have some of those that we'll put up for sale as well too. So I think this is going to be a hot book. I also think this is, well, if I didn't think that, we wouldn't be doing it. And I also think that Michael, once this stuff starts getting out, he's going to become a really hot artist. Much like our friend Mike Ruth, who's just exploding right now, and Hugh Rookwood as well too.
Yep.
And also our new friends too, like Kelly Williams and Jason Flowers and Sean Hill. Like there's so many of those guys now. Carl and Walt.
Yeah, and quite a few of those people you've mentioned are actually they have covers this week, alternate covers or main
That's
covers.
Right. That's right. And it is CBCS. I was pretty sure it was. So we'll definitely do that because it will be signed signatures. So
Yeah.
And what else I was going to say? And I'll also kind of a little bit of a, no, not too much of a preview because I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but we will have the same Nat Daddy team doing a second book coming out later on. I believe it's closer into June.
I think it's later.
It is in June. I just don't remember the exact date. So
Yeah.
me and Tyler will be once again getting Michael Bergland to do a cover for that book as well too.
Yeah. So huge thank you to Aftershock. Huge thank you to Michael Bergland. You know, he's been great to work with. I know you've done most of the chatting there, and I'm just the voice in the back. But yeah, he's been a real awesome guy to work with. And thanks to Stefan as well with getting us a little bit of in with Aftershock there, letting us know here, maybe try this, and here's who you got to contact.
That's for sure.
So thank you for that. It says, like we always say, you know, everyone in the community helps each other out, and projects like these are able to come to life.
Yeah. And while we're talking about us and doing shout outs, I would also like to thank guys from the Dreamwalker book, Mikey Sutton and the Second Skin comics. They have issue 2 coming out pretty soon, and so we're pretty excited for them. And we are going to be selling issue number 2 for sure. And we're going to have a little bit more info about that as well too. We're just working on some details there, but that's going to be a pretty significant announcement as well. So I'm just saying that because I remembered it, and also because I know before with the Dreamwalker book, we had a lot of people asking us once they read it and that if we were going to be getting issues 2, and we are.
Yeah.
Within another month or so.
Yeah, I believe it's being
so.
printed in about a month or so. Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Let's
see you
hop
later.
into the
Thanks
show.
for coming in. No, all right, let's go. Let's do the show.
All righty. Our first book up for review tonight is Spider-Punk.
Yes. This is the cover A. It is an okay cover. The story itself is basically what it looks like. It's just Spider-Punk is Hobie Brown in another universe, and he's the Spider-Punk, so he's that version of Spider-Man. So much like the Spider-Verse stuff, he's shown up before, but now this is just a tale of him in that universe.
Yep.
It's all right. It's basically your kind of what if or Elseworld story. So kind of enjoyable if you like this character. You see some more of his version of the Spidey universe over there. You see a Kraven. You see I forget who else now because the story isn't that memorable. Mm-hmm. But the one reason we like it on this show, and it was let's see here. I just want to make sure I get the artist, not the artist, but the writer, Cody Ziegler and Justin Mason doing the art. So I mean, 2 good people. I mean, it's not a bad story. It's just I'm not a big fan of all the millions of Spider-Mans. I know you're the same thing too. You're not a huge Spideyverse fan.
Out of all of them, Spider-Punk is one of my least favorite.
Me
Visually,
too.
He's a cool-looking Spider-Man. You can get some great action shots, but
I didn't care for it. But I mean, that's not the reason we have it on the show. Well, we do because it's the #1, but that's not the real reason. The real reason we have it on is because another friend of our channel and a friend of the tags and that who we like to support, Maria Wolf, did the cover B. And this is it on here too. Mm-hmm. So she did an awesome job on that. We've been helping her spread the word on this. And I was lucky when I went in yesterday to get the last one of this off the shelf, not just the last her cover, but just the last one in the store. So that's pretty awesome. And I have been seeing it selling out a lot of other places. And for anybody who hasn't got a copy yet, I assume it's still there. I saw it was this afternoon at CapCan in Canada. So it's capcan.com. They had copies still available too at regular cover price. Because I know on one site we saw a guy who had to buy it on eBay, but he still got a cover price, but then he had to pay for shipping. Yeah. So I mean, that's not cool. So yeah, that I would definitely do that because Maria's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like her a lot.
That's all we've got for Marvel this week. We have a lot of indies to go over. We have a couple DC, but a lot of indies to go over this week. So we wanted to keep the big 2 down from what we had been.
We have 13 books this week compared to the last couple of weeks.
Only 13?
Well, yeah, because you thought it was 14, and then I said we didn't have that.
Oh, right. Yeah. So
it still might be 14. Actually, I'm not sure. But either way, we got almost double than we've had the last couple of weeks, which were there almost none.
Yeah. So yeah, next up we've got Well, it's Batman Beyond.
Neil year.
I don't know how I feel about this. This one, I believe, is meant to be more of a continuation of
Future State.
Yeah.
It is. It continues right on.
And I know Batman Beyond is popular, and I say it every time. He's a popular character. I've never gotten behind him. It's like Spider-Punk. I
No,
enjoy...
you said it's more like Spider-Man 2099.
Yes, I know, but in the way I view him, like, he visually looks great. His stories I find to be
Yeah, but I thought you thought the same thing with Spider-Man 2099 too.
I do. I don't even like the way he looks, really.
Oh, okay.
It's neat, but
Okay. Well, yeah, I do like Batman Beyond, and I went in there hoping to like this, and I did like it. Wasn't a bad thing, but it was, I've seen it told before, and what it is it does take up after the Future State, and what it is old Bruce Wayne, who's been a mentor to Terry McGinnis all his young Batman career, has been killed. And he got killed before this book happened. He got killed in that last story arc involving this. He was killed by something called Neo Gotham. Mm-hmm. And what it is, it's like an AI, an artificial intelligence that's taken over Gotham. So everything's run by by this AI, Big Brother type. And now it's after Terry, and Terry's out doing his thing, but the whole city's against him now. Whether it's people or the AI that makes the city run in that. Yep. So he's got that going on. So it's okay story, but it's nothing special. I didn't care for it that much.
Yeah, and that seems to be the running theme of DC books this week. Staying in the Bat family, our next one
was by Colin Kellan and Jackson Lansing doing the writing, and then Mark Dunbar. And he was all right, but I mean, it was like, again, it didn't make me want to pick up the next issue or anything.
So next we've got Earth Prime Batwoman. And these are kind of a series of anthologies that are going to cross over by the end. Mm-hmm. And they're based off of all of the CW DC shows. So I get the stuff that's called like the Arrowverse. So Flash, the Batwoman, Superman and Lois, Legends of Tomorrow, and I think Stargirl.
Yeah.
So this first one is just about Batwoman, and I haven't seen the show since the first season when it was Ruby Rose, and I'd only watched a few episodes here and there.
Yeah, I think I only watched one or two, and then it was actually pretty good, and even then I didn't watch it anymore. So on
her own, I'm not really enjoying the Batwoman show, but during the crossovers, she seemed to be enjoyable enough. Mm-hmm. But yeah, and I think the book followed the same thing, where it not being too much of an enjoyable read.
No, this is boring. I really didn't like this at all. This is the first book on the show that we've had in a long time where I didn't enjoy it all. And it was a chore to read. It's the woman on the cover there is the new Batwoman. She took it's been a while. I know
it's been a while since we had that guy up.
She at first appeared in the very last issue of the last Batgirl series, and
Book of the Week.
And so now she's spun out into this. Yeah, I didn't care for it all. It's just more like Tyler said, more expanding of this universe. Yeah, it's what it is technology has been stolen, and all these regular people are being influenced by it, and it turns them into bat villains, like old bat villains. Mm-hmm. So this one kid gets turned into Clayface and that, and so now she's out trying to trace this and track it all down, and she ends up getting help from a surprise person that you're not expecting to help her. So a typical kind of story, but very, I don't know what it was. There was a little bit of action, but it was just boring.
They had a crossover set up for the last couple years between the shows, like they do every year. They do a big crossover event, and I know they weren't able to do it with COVID, shutting down production, and people couldn't line up their schedules and whatnot. So I'm wondering if this is one of the scripts from that, and they've just sort of adjusted it or adapted it into.
This is one of 6 issues, and there was so much just stuff in there. It's something like they were just explaining and trying to fit in there. And
it's got 3 seasons or 2 seasons of backstory.
So I don't know. I didn't care for this one too much at all. And I like Batgirl stuff. So.
Next we've got from IDW, The Rocketeer.
This I did enjoy.
Yeah, the Rocketeer has been gaining a lot of heat again because he's getting a Disney Plus either movie or series.
It's
I
a
can't
series.
remember.
Yeah, Disney Plus series.
But the Rocketeer has always been a really cool looking guy, and
Yeah.
he's not a new creation by any means. He's been
No.
around for a long time.
It doesn't have it on this picture here, but it's the 40th anniversary actually.
Yeah.
And there was a Rocketeer movie probably in the late 80s,
80s or
early
90s.
90s, like when they were doing like Dick Tracy and the
Yeah.
original Batman and stuff.
That's also on Disney, actually.
Well, yeah, it was owned by Fox.
Yeah.
It is that movie wasn't bad actually. It wasn't great, but I didn't mind that movie back then. And what this is, I guess they're trying to, again, 40th anniversary. I'm trying to stir up a little tension for the upcoming Disney Plus series. It's not too bad. What it is it's all done in the old style by Dave Stevens, and no same kind of formula. All original time span and universe in that. He's given up being the Rocketeer because he's tired of having near-death experiences, and he's tired of fighting with his fiance, which is her name is Betty even, and she's like totally a Betty Page like cliche, like it even looks like her, and that she's a model and does all that stuff. So they're traveling around while she models, and he ends up taking a job in this great race where he's going to be a pilot for this experimental plane for this rich billionaire guy. And he was supposed to give up the suit, but he hasn't. But he packs it with him, and he takes the job so he can be a normal person and make normal money in that. But obviously, stuff's gonna happen in there. So, yeah, that's all right.
Oh, Michael says he's late. Michael, you missed your grand debut. We did it right at the beginning.
That's right. It's on replay.
Everyone loved it.
And we will definitely, once it drops and we do more promotion, that we'll definitely get you on for an interview for sure. So don't worry, lots to come.
All right, so yeah, that's the Rocketeer. Next up, we've got from Boom Studios, and this might be one of the first Boom books we've covered in a little bit, I think.
That wasn't like brand new. We still always follow like Something's Killing the Children and Once in Future.
But that's Alice Ever After.
I like this one.
And it got some good covers. This one is just cover A, and I love it.
I love this cover too.
One of the ratio variants is just a version of this, but I think it looks so much better with the actual title on it.
And that's the same what we'll see with our book when it comes out too. It looks good without the title, but it looks even better with it because the title ties into the picture.
Yeah.
And so does this too, because without that there, you wouldn't realize, unless you took a little look at the border there, which is Alice in Wonderland characters, you wouldn't realize that was Alice right away. But what this is kind of a neat book. What it is written by... Oh, where is it? Oh, stuck to this next page. It is written by Dan Panasyan, and the art is by Giorgio Spalletta and Dan Panasyan. So he does the writing and the art. And what it is, it's like a weird kind of twisted sequel to the original Alice in Wonderland. Except Alice is an adult now, and she kind of has a traumatizing life. And so what she does is she can't visit Wonderland. She can't visit Wonderland anymore just by taking mushrooms alone. So as she's aged up and that, she's had to start reverting to taking drugs. So now she has this drug habit, and she is out stealing and always conning people to try to feed this drug habit, and again just to take away her, to escape at night. But she keeps going for longer, and it's getting worse and worse. Yeah, that's what it is so far. And she's got family that are getting mad at her, and there's people in the Wonderland that are getting mad at her. So this is only the first issue of, I believe it's 5, or it could be 4. But so it's neat to see where it goes from there. People are obviously trying to trick her to stay longer. The other people are trying to get her to shake her drug habit. Plus, she's like, she's a thief in that. So now that life's catching up with her because she's a drug addict. So
this is one of the first books in quite a while that I've picked up solely based off of the cover, and it's a pretty solid book.
I liked it so far.
I don't say it too much because I don't like to put so much spec and stock into things, but this is one that I think lends itself really well to some sort of
for sure
streaming adaptation.
Boom is with Netflix, I believe. Has a first look deal with Netflix, and this is like what we like quite a bit lately. Is like modern retellings of like
stuff like Nottingham,
grim fairy tales or whatever. Yeah, Nottingham or that Never Never.
Yeah, Never Never.
Was it Never Never or Neverland?
I think it's Never Never. Yeah, that's another good one.
Yeah. Or even Once in Future, where the same thing too.
Yeah,
where it's
Once
like
in Future is another
the King
good one.
Arthur, where they've twisted it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
That's a boom
I
book.
forgot about Once in Future.
yeah, that's a boom book.
But yeah, overall, pretty good book for one I just happened to be picking up. This one wasn't really on my list originally.
I've known about this for a while, and I liked it again because of the cover. And I'm not a huge J. Scott Campbell fan. I think there's too many of his books out there, and they're always the same type of thing. But I did like the covers he had on here, so I picked up one of those.
Realized I forgot to change the thing to boom there.
Oh, that's sorry. I have to edit that.
No,
I'm just kidding.
It's all good.
That's it.
It's boom now.
Yeah.
But now we're moving away from boom, and we're moving on to AWA Upshot and their latest limited series, I suppose, and that's the Joneses.
Yeah, this is this one I enjoyed, and the cover kind of actually gives away what's going on in here.
Oh yeah.
But what it is, and it's written by Michael Morecci, and the art is by Alessandre Vidi. And much like every AW Upshot book, it has totally been modeled.
Oh, this one almost looks like it's taken like a photo.
Yeah, it's like it's made for like streaming or movie service and that, and it's almost like what do they call them? Storyboards.
Yeah.
But again, that's not a bad thing because they always have good. I like all their books really. This one takes place in the same universe as the Renaissance or Resistance. Resistance, yeah, where everybody has not everybody, where a bunch of people had turned into got superpowers after like a cosmic event. So these is you don't have to know that though going in here. It's not like you've had to read the previous material from this because there's
it's independent.
Yeah,
it's like some of the Black Hammer universe stuff.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
all independent.
Yeah, you can know what's going on without having to know all the characters. But what this is a family who during that event has got these powers, and now they're trying to live normal lives without being discovered because it's not good. Everyone hates these people. They're called the Reborn. There's a lot of bigotry, and there's people after them and agencies. So they're hiding at these powers. Some of them want to hide the powers more than others.
It reminds me of a more adult, serious telling of The Incredibles.
Okay,
the Pixar.
Yeah, and that's what I figured it was like too, because I've never seen the Incredibles. But that's what I thought it was.
Superheroes were a thing, and then all of a sudden they become sort of more taboo, and you shouldn't be a hero, you gotta hide it.
Yeah, and that's what's going on here. Kind of like what's going on with the Devil's Reign in Marvel Universe.
Yeah. But
again, it's some of them don't hide their powers, and so we'll see. It goes from there. This is 1 of 6, I believe, 1 of 5, and I like it. It's a good book. Nice artwork. I was going to have a friend help me review it just because her last name is Jones as well, but I forgot to do that with her. So if we have this book on again, I'll get her to do a review on it just because she is an actual Jones.
She has superpowers?
She does. She likes me. That's her superpower.
That's not a superpower, that's a weakness. Next up, we've got... yes, I know what we've got. All right. We've got another guest introducing a book. Everyone, well, I believe he introduced himself in the video as well.
Sure does. Yeah.
Everyone, we talk about him a lot, and that's our good friend.
Our good friend
Mike Ruth. That's almost like a turtle. It's like Miss Turtle title. It's like Mr. or Sir. It's our good friend.
He's our good friend, and Michael's our good friend. And who else?
But it's Mike Ruth, and
Stefan's our good friend.
He's worked on a book here called Project Superpowers, and he's actually done a bit of an intro here for us as well.
Yep.
So let's take a look at that and see if I can get it to play properly the first time.
Hey everybody. Cover art to my Project Superpowers issue 1.
Try it one more time. There it goes.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Ruth here, coming to you live from my studio. Well, not live, you'll be seeing this as a recording. But what you're looking at is the original cover art to my Project Superpowers issue 1, Fractured States, by Ron Mars and Andy Lanning, and it's been an absolute pleasure to work on the covers for the series. The first one's out this week. I don't have a copy of it here to show you, but you can go to your local comic shop and get one. And yeah, you can also get them from Big Country Comics, I believe. I think he's got all the different variations of this. There's the full color version, you know, and then there's a trade dress version copies, and the sketch version as well. So lots of different variants for this one from Dynamite. But yeah, here's the cover. Original art will be available eventually. I'm actually doing a cover for every issue of this series, and there's 5 in total. So hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy what my buddy Nathan has to say about this book when he gives it a review. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for stopping by, and yeah, check out Nat Daddy Collectibles, and check out his cool comic reviews. And I'll catch you guys later. Okay, bye-bye.
Cool. There we go.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So thanks, Mike, for doing that and introducing the book a little bit.
He's doing one for every cover. That's what he said there.
I know.
I forgot about that.
I know. He's a busy guy.
He's so busy. I'm glad he fit us in, because even today he was like busy, and I'm like, I asked him to do this on the last minute yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool.
Yeah, he wasn't even sure if he was going to do it, but he got it in there super quick for us.
Yeah. So again, everybody who this is a good story. So first, before I go into the review, I'm going to tell you, much like I said for Maria's book there, go to your LCS, pick it up. This is a good story.
Mm-hmm.
The cover is awesome. The art is awesome. And like Mike said in the video there, if you cannot get to, find an your LCS, go to Big Country Comics. They do have copies there. And I also saw in CapCan they had copies there as well. And being a Dynamite book, and I know Tyler is not a big fan of Dynamite books a lot of times.
It's a different kind of Dynamite book.
Right. There is, like Mike mentioned in his intro there as well too, Dynamite books have like so many different variations and variants for all their covers. You can get black and white, trade, non-virgin, black and white, like all different things. And they're not crazy expensive variants because they have so many of them. Yeah. So check that out too. And Mike's always touring around, so you can always, get it done, get it signed. And actually, you know what? If you go on the Big Country site, I'm pretty sure they probably have signed ones on there from Mike.
Oh,
I would assume so, because they usually do. So
I would, yeah.
And if they don't, I'm sorry, but I'm sure they do.
Yeah. If not, reach out to Mike.
Yeah,
He'll sign it for you. He loves talking to friends and fans and anyone.
So what goes on in this book is, and I just passed it, it's from Dynamite, and it's Project Superpowers Fractured States. And the characters in this book are open domain or public domain characters, so you can use them whatever way you want. Much like how they're doing the Conan series there with Ablaze, the Sumerian ones, as they just don't say Conan. So what there is, they're trying to reboot this series, or bring more attention, update this these people here, the Black Shadow. And it's much like Archie had started to do with the S.H.I.E.L.D. character. But then, unfortunately, we all know what happened there. Rob Liefeld. So what happens in here is you got Ron Mars and Andy Linning doing the writing. And then you got Amelia Vitilia doing the art, interior art. And Ron Mars does awesome writing. He's the one that is doing that... Silver Surfer Reborn right now.
Oh yeah,
and he's the one that did all that original Silver Surfer stuff. I'm just saying that's some of his work, just in case people don't read it. So what's going on in here is you got the guy on the bottom of the cover there. He wakes up in like on a place, and he kind of has amnesia, and he's doesn't really know what's going on. And he has superpowers. He doesn't know how he got them. He keeps having like memories pop up and that. He doesn't know if he's in the future, but it's in the future, so he doesn't know if he's woken up from like he's time jumped, or if he just fell asleep and woke up in that. So he's dealing with all that, but a lot of it is all about the U.S. is warring like among all its like states and stuff, like a lot of civil war in that, and these guys are kind of like renegades, are out there to help each other. I myself didn't know too much about this at all. Like I recognized the character, but I never read it or anything when I was a kid, because it wasn't around in any format when I was a kid. So I didn't really know too much about it, but I still recognized it a little bit. when I was reading the story, I managed to follow it, but I mean I was kind of a little confused. But I think that's supposed to be like that because he's confused too, right? So
Yeah.
he doesn't know what's
It's like
going on.
that Parasomnia
Parasomnia
Maze book.
or like Memento. I always think of
Yeah.
like everything always goes back to Memento. So that's kind of cool there. I know I didn't give a great description of the story, but he shows up in the future and he's like the Superman type of person and they can't figure out why. But then like the powers that be in there now are trying to fight him and trying to prove he's not who he says in that. So it's just the first book. I know they're trying to again expand this universe, so I'm going to keep reading it. Hopefully my mangled kind of synopsis there didn't turn anybody off. I hope anybody who watches this just gets it because Mike did the cover because Mike does amazing covers. So.
Yeah. Next up, I'm not sure who this one is from.
Vault.
Oh, yes, I knew that. I couldn't see their logo on there, but I did know it was Vault.
Yeah. I had to take a lot for me to find too.
And that's it's right there. It's tiny.
Yeah. Once
that's
I saw it, you see it.
West of Sundown.
Yeah.
From Vault.
This is a Western vampire story. It's actually really cool. I was looking forward to this because it's written by Tim Seeley and Aaron Campbell. And Tim Seeley, we know, always writes an amazing vampire story. He's the one that does that Dark Red. Yeah, so Tim Seeley does wicked vampire stories. It almost seems to be like his niche, So, and then you got Jim Terry doing the art. And what it is, you got a New York socialite, and she's a vampire as well. And her name is, and she gets mortally wounded by vampire hunters.
Her name is what?
I forget her name. It's like this Spanish name. I forgot to write it down. It's like Contessa de something like that. And so she gets mortally wounded, and her sacral ground that vampires have to go into sleep and regenerate gets destroyed as well by these vampire hunters. So she's in like old New York, like 1800s type of thing. So her and her like what is that called when the vampire's like servant? I know they have a name for it.
Thrall?
Whatever it's called, but yeah, what the Renfraw would be to Dracula.
Yeah.
I thought it was called something else. I can't remember. Like master servant, but they had a specific name. But yeah, so he ends up rescuing her and boxing her up, and now they're trying to travel back down to. She lives in like central, I believe it's Mexico, and they're on their way back down there. But now they have to like from where they are to teach him how to talk.
I know. I tell him all the time. He can say complex things, but then he can't say something like Silver Surfer.
It's because my brain is going faster than my tongue. Or maybe it's the other way around, but either way. So now she has to go from New York to Mexico there, but she has to take like a boat and everything all the way around the old way. So as she travels there, she's going to have to deal with like more hunters, just the journey itself there. And she is mortally wounded, so she's just in this coffin, barely alive. So pretty neat story. I like the Western part. I like vampire part. It almost makes me think like a Tarantino flick because he's almost done some kind of Western vampire type thing. So I would check it out. Being Vault, it's good cardstock, good printing, good paper inside. Wicked cover. Cover A is awesome.
I love these covers that they're doing, and it's not just Vault doing them, but you're getting some even IDW, or they're
old movie style.
Old movie style posters. I think
all the straight dogs.
Elvira.
Yeah, the Elvira
one.
Yeah.
And they're really, really great. And some of them even just look like old VHS.
Yeah.
Those are some of my favorite. That and the action figure covers.
That's from Black Caravan. Does those VHS ones? I love those ones. And they also that legendary book I got from the Black We Don't Kill Spiders too. They have that giant size too this week.
Yeah.
This book here has lots of variant covers, and each one is amazing. Like I thought I got about 2 or 3 of them, or maybe 4, and I thought I had most of them. And then I saw online today, there's like 8, and each one is amazing. And they're not like
there is quite a few.
They're not just like exclusive. They're just variant covers. So that's what's cool too.
Vault does lots of variants, or even exclusives as well that are really good. Like stuff like Barbaric.
Yeah, I love Barbaric.
Barbaric's all their variants, all exclusives are awesome.
Yep. I'll have to start doing that actors exercise that they do before
Red
that.
leather, yellow leather.
Oh, there's another one. It's from like the top
You
of
wouldn't even
my
be able to say red clearly.
top of my lips to the through my teeth or something. I saw it on 912 the other night.
You couldn't even say that right.
I know 90210. I was trying to say it without being caught.
Next up, we're going
Aftershock.
to another Aftershock book, and it's a new #1, and The Ocean Will Take Us.
This is a great book. Right off the bat, it looks like it's a kid's book. I'll tell you, second off the bat, it's not a kid's book. There's F-bombs in here and sexual innuendo, and it's very politically correct. So, some people might not like that exposed to their kids at a younger age. So, yeah, this is not a young person's book. I'm very surprised it doesn't have like a mature writing on it or anything like that, warning. Maybe it does on the back of the book.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, but it's awesome.
Most Aftershock stuff is, though. I think it's almost implied.
That is
It's
true.
not like Scout or Boom, how they have children's imprints.
Yeah, it's true. I don't think they ever will get one. Aftershock doesn't really fit there.
No.
Oh, that's not true. They do have some kid ones.
Which?
I forget what it's called now, but there's a collection of it. I reviewed it not too long ago. There is a kid one. It's written by a guy. If Stefan's watching, he can correct me. I just saw them do an interview with them not too long ago with on the Happy Hour. It's a dude and his son. I forget what the name is. Stefan, if you're out there, let me know what that book is. I can't remember what it is. Ocean Will Take Us. So this book is by Rich Duick, and the art is by Carlos Oliveras. And the interior art is exactly like the cover art there. I really like. That's
there,
like
Seismic. Yes,
yeah.
I remember the name now.
Yeah, but there was one that they did an interview for on the guy for the book just recently. This book is about a new kid. He's from Hawaii, and he moves to join a new school, and he joins the swim team. He's a good swimmer, and he's actually a great swimmer. He won the state championship when he was in Hawaii. But now he's at this new school, and it's a pretty prestigious school, and everywhere there's cliques and all that, and lollipop kids. I knew it. Yes, glass. I knew that. Oh, I knew that. I couldn't. Yeah. So then, as he tries to join this new swim team, he kind of notices them that they're bullies, and they kind of run the school. And if you get in their way, you not only get hurt, but if you get in their way enough, you kind of disappear. And he also notices too that before meets and stuff like that, they take you would think would be like a steroid, but it's like this black slimy stuff, almost like a venom type of stuff in a little tube, and they drink that, and it speeds them up and makes them like super aggressive, like crazy steroids, right? But you also see too, like this black stuff's on the cover there, and this black stuff shows up in the water. It shows up in the pool. It shows up in the ocean around them when they're swimming in that. So there's some kind of supernatural influence there, and they're probably like praying to it, or no, it's a god that's trying to maybe give them powers, and it's made them like this. So I'm really interested to see where this goes. Like you said, it is not for kids. There is swearing in that. Awesome artwork, and just a cool story, because it's like
it does have good artwork. It's like you can see on the cover here. It's kind of like that
manga
and anime style, which I'm not usually a fan of.
No, me either. And that's why I thought
the way
it was a kid's book.
They've actually colored it, and the way that they've actually shaded it, it looks really nice.
Yeah, and I like it. And you know me, I like Kraken type of supernatural stuff like that, which this seems like it's going to be. So that's cool. I liked it a lot. I'm going to definitely check out the next one.
Yeah, and
we love Aftershock books, man.
We do. Next, we've got. I mean, oh, that's loud. Relatively unknown to myself, at least.
We've done a lot of these Ahoy books, and you say this every time.
Yeah.
For this and that Bad Company. Bad Company is that one that had that My Bad.
Yeah. But it's one that isn't super huge, but it surprises me that they're not, because the books that come out,
they're getting bigger and better,
tend to usually blow up. But that's Guilt.
Yep. Guilt stands for, I have it written down here, what's the first word of it?
It's a good thing you're wearing glasses.
Yeah. These are really helping, actually. Guild is the Guild of Independent Lady Temporalists. So what it is written by Alyssa Quitney, and the art is by Manaset. Hildy Winters is an old independent woman, and that's her on the cover there in the old woman. And she happens to be a member of Guild, and they time travel. And it's kind of like in the Loki movies, you have these temporal police that kind of monitor stuff, so they have certain rules that they can and cannot do. But she's kind of been doing this for years and years, and she's kind of like a burned out party girl. So the woman shows up there, and she's the woman in there is hi there. The woman who shows up there is like, kind of talking with her, and as she's there, she's kind of witnessing how she does these things, goes into different rooms, and shows up, and she's like falling over, and she just thinks she's like falling over because she's like a drunk, or she getting a little bit more senile, can't take care of herself. But then they fall out of room together, like Beetlejuice style, out the back porch, and they disappear into another dimension, another time, and that's where the book ends. So it's really cool.
Typical old lady stuff.
Yeah, it's cool for anyone that's like not sexy, but like a lot of those comedies that are on Netflix nowadays, where the older people who are like what we know used to be young people, and now they're older, and now all their comedies about getting older and stuff. So like that, mixed in with some Sex in the City.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, I was thinking of that
Danny
one.
DeVito.
I was thinking of that one with.
There was a similar one with Betty White. I think it was called Hot in Cleveland.
Yeah, something like that. But there's a couple on Netflix. There's one with Michael Douglas and Adam Arkin, and then there's another one with.
Oh, I have Image up. I put the wrong one.
Oh yeah, it's Ahoy. So it's like that.
They have the same coloring and the same font.
Anybody who likes like Sex in the City stuff, like that's what this lady's like. Kind of Sex in the City jokes, New York person, so stuff like that. All right, I'm not personally attacking anybody. I don't attack anybody unless they're idiots. All right.
You meet a lot of those. I don't hear about too many fist fights.
I try to be calm nowadays.
And now we've done a couple of these guys as well, I think.
Yes, we have. One we really liked, and one we did not like.
Oh, look at that! See, now you're offending the viewership. Gonna be taken out of the will.
I don't understand what I said to offend anybody.
So yeah, we've got Black Star Line from, is it Adult Comics? Advent?
No,
Advent Comics. Yeah, I always say adult. But Advent Comics.
Yeah. These are printed on really nice covers, and they're nice.
And it's strange. It's always the smaller companies, with the exception of maybe Vault. They're not so small anymore. But all these smaller indies, you'd think they'd be on crappier paper, and they're not. They're all nice, like premium format paper, hard cardstock. The paper is even good.
That's why,
like on Behemoth books too.
That's one of the reasons.
Fantastic.
That's why
if they can do it, why can't the others?
Yeah, exactly. Like the big two, especially like Image, and that Image puts out just as much as Marvel does, and they still only do $2.99 and $3.99. And that's one of the reasons I wasn't afraid to get the large prestige side book that we had there, because even though it is a little bit more expensive, it's worth it. It's just worth it. It's not like
it's the quality is better.
Yeah, it's not like the Marvel books. Again, I saw somebody else complain about it on a Marvel review this week. Like, this is literally what a Marvel book that looks like nowadays. Like, it is that thin. It's brutal.
It's still glossy paper, but it feels like newspaper. It's
crappy.
It's very
you can't even read it.
Easy to tear. Just turning the pages.
Oh, we should have saved that for a rant because we don't have. So what this book is it's kind of like this line, this Advent Comics, almost like their version of the Milestone line in DC. This is all a superhero line that's kind of like geared towards Black people. All their superheroes,
persons of color.
Well, I didn't know if I want to call that. I want to sound. I'm in a suit like this.
American.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look too white to be saying shit like that right now.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you guys hear? You got a couple stories involving these new superhero characters that are mainly Black, but there are some white people in here too. But again, it's just mainly the heroes are geared toward Black. The first one is kind of an Egyptian African god, and the battle to stay like that, and which I kind of enjoyed that one because we like the Egyptian mythos and African god mythos. And the second one is more of like a modern superhero telling. So again, nothing too mind blowing in that. It was enjoyable. The only thing that made me laugh is like this stupid hand cover on there. Looks like it's going.
It's funny. The camera actually just gave it the same effect.
I know.
Okay.
I know. It looks just like that. So it makes me look like that. Made me laugh. But I liked it.
Actually, I like the cover for this one.
Yeah, it's cool. So yeah, I'll check out the next one because I want to see more of these characters.
I like this cover more than the next cover from them.
So I really like this next cover.
Okay.
Yep.
Ready to go to that one?
But
then?
yeah, because I like this old. I was a Bruce Lee fan like as a kid. Yeah, that's the next one.
So that's still from Advent Comics, and that's Fist of the Dragon.
Yeah.
And I find this one is like it is really good. Like you said, Bruce Lee or some Master of Kung Fu, like some of their comic covers. But I preferred the simplicity of the other one.
You can't even say like Master of Kung Fu anymore.
Yeah, I believe he's doing a signing, and he won't sign any Master of Kung Fu books. Yeah. Well, only stuff that specifically Shang-Chi.
Or anything that just doesn't say Master of Kung Fu.
Yeah, I don't remember if he's doing a signing through CGC or if he had just stated that he wasn't.
Ever, he said, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was for the CGC one. Oh yeah, for this book here, so again, it's from Advent. Again, they're expanding their universe there. And this book is almost like a picture perfect, or maybe it is, and just because I haven't seen it in so long, I don't know. A retelling of a Bruce Lee movie, Enter the Dragon, or whatever it's called.
Fist of the Dragon?
No, I don't think it's called Fist of the Dragon because they would have to say that, and they would have to call him Bruce Lee, and they don't. This guy is Bruce Lee, but he's not called Bruce Lee.
He's loose Brie.
He's loose. He's loose Brie. This is Tom Kittrell doing the writing and Steve Scott doing the art, and I really like the art because it's kind of like what's on the cover there. It gives you that.
It is very nice art.
Yeah, it gives you that 70s exploitation kung fu martial movie type thing, martial arts type of movie. Again, like I said, it's a Bruce Lee type of character, and he's also what's going on in this story is in like this ultimate martial arts warrior competition. Amongst all these different clans to see who's going to be like the greatest warrior type of thing. But at the same time, too, the character is also like a member of some type of like Justice League type of team as well. So you kind of see him in that little bit of environment as well. But it's mostly just about that. Fun little read, lots of kung fu action. I'll check out the rest because, I just like these books so far. They're fun. I want to see they don't take themselves too seriously in here, especially in this story. Because, like I said, it's almost like a mock classic homage.
Yeah, it's that. Well, I mean, I don't think too many kung fu movies were taken too seriously.
No, but I'm saying it is a direct like scenario or not scenario, direct parody of like Bruce Lee.
Falls under parody law. That's probably how they're able to do it without any copyright infringement.
Probably, yeah. Because it even breaks down like kung fu movie like into chapters and that too. So
yeah.
But like I said, they do throw in like this after a big battle. This Superman type flies down like, oh, you should have saved some for me. I was on the way to the group meeting. Are you okay?
Yeah, and that's our last book.
No, there's Stargirl.
No, I didn't have Stargirl on my list.
I'm pretty sure you did. I threw the list already. It's from Behemoth.
No. Well,
I'll start talking about it.
You can start talking about it.
Stargirl from Behemoth is... there was a lot of covers for this one, too.
Let's see.
This one is a bigger book. I'm trying to remember. It was 65 pages. And so it's $7.99. And it is by Lucas Mendoza. And what it is... I thought I was really going to like this book. In the end, I kind of did not like it. It is about...
Yep.
It is about the Stargirls. It's over. It's kind of like Stargirls are kind of what like the Nova Corps, what kind of type of thing, right?
It looks almost like
it's very
like Sailor Moon influence.
It's very Sailor Moon manga like as well too. So anyone who's younger or likes that stuff will definitely be into it. Except this book is a little bit more expensive. Like I said, it is a 65 pager. It is in like a what we used to call like a one-shot graphic novel format when we were kids. So like a little bit thicker book, the hard cardstock. Like if you open it, you'll wreck it as soon as you open it, type of thing.
Like New Mutants was, or Excalibur. Some of those thicker.
Yeah, like that first Excalibur.
Yeah.
Or like Gotham by Gaslight, or the Killing Joke, or the three jokes, or the three Three Jokers books lately. You know, that prestige format. Yes, I said that kind of space core of the Stargirl is over, but there's still 4 of them left, and they're this is one of them, and they're still trying to save the universe. There's still a growing enemies, trying to destroy the universe, obviously. So they're in here as well too. They all seem to be very girl-like. I don't know if they actually are girls because these are all aliens. They all have different looks. Like this one girl has this purple and kind of pinky skin. There's other ones with green and red skin. They all fight like not manga style, like
Sailor Moon.
Yeah, Sailor Moon. But what's the karate type stuff? I don't know. I don't know any of that stuff. I kept on
Like it in like manga.
Yeah, manga, whatever.
Oh, I don't know. They're weird, like Naruto with their
stuff like that.
Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah, they want to fight like that, but again with a lot of like the Sailor Moon stuff. So I probably won't check out the other ones, but it is a great book. Color-wise, presentation-wise, even story-wise, it's just I don't care for that stuff. So I think this one is made for a little bit of a younger audience, or definitely just geared more towards like that manga crowd, which I know a lot of your generation likes. Like Mel likes that stuff and that. But,
yeah, I've never been too
I'm not a
into
fan
it.
of it. Well, because I never corrupted you with it.
Yeah. Even Pokemon. I've only ever liked the games, and even then, it wasn't a whole lot until I was a little older.
No.
Anyway, that's it for books.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, that's it for books. Next up, we've just got Moon Knight. We'll talk about Moon Knight a little bit, and then we'll assign homework for the night, and we'll be done.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot there.
No.
Karate type stuff is the technical term.
Yeah.
It is. If you put and stuff behind it, that automatically becomes a technical term.
It's true. You can look it up.
Can't you?
Yeah, Oxford takes it.
That's right.
So we had Moon Knight episode 2 this week, and
I'm liking this show.
I'm really liking this show. I'm
Me
liking
too.
what they're doing with the characters. I like how they're approaching the duality of Mark Spector and Stephen Grant,
Yeah.
and then the sort of possession or whatever of Khonshu. And I'm liking what they're doing with the introduction of Mr. Knight. How they play it off.
It was
a
just
bit
a
silly.
joke. I hope it's just that one episode because I don't.
Because I mean, realistically,
I don't like that character.
Mr. Knight is a bit of a goofy character to begin with.
Mm.
Not a goofy character, but the idea of him is goofy.
The presentation of him was stupid.
Yeah.
I won't say stupid. I just never cared for it.
And
they make it like that in here because they're like, "Oh, you need a suit." He's like,
"Suit up,
this
suit
is
up,
a
put on the
I'm in a
suit."
suit. Yeah, so I like that. That's kind of cool. A lot of fanboy
great.
knowledge. Yeah,
I
don't like that look.
For how goofy of a character is, it looks great.
I thought it was nice to see him do that one fight scene, so I'm sure that hopefully that's it. Now they'll go back. They went back to the original suit right away. So
that's when he switched over to Mark. I think Steven's version, they're both gonna have their own identity as Moon Knight.
Maybe we'll know.
That's how I think they're approaching it.
Either way, I am enjoying this show a lot. I'm really getting almost mesmerized when Ethan Hawke is on the screen there.
He's fantastic.
He's doing awesome in there. When Joel saw it, he didn't even realize that was Ethan Hawke. He said, "Man, Ethan Hawke looks so old now." I said, "Well, one, he is old, and he's makeup and stuff." And
I can't imagine he has too much makeup. I think that's just he's old now.
You'd be surprised. And also too, it's really cool. Like he's really developing that character well because that's kind of like this character is like kind of being not made up on the fly, but exposed on the fly because it's not a real character per se. I mean, his name is real, but it was just like he was a mad doctor for like one book or something like that, 1 or 2 books. I can't remember. I think it was
which
one.
is good. For something like this, they can reinvent the property. For
and then you're finding out, or at least that Ethan Hawke character Harrow, they're saying that he used to be the Moon Knight, and
he was an avatar for
and he's trying to convince him, you're not crazy, just ignore him and that. So that is really cool how they're building this all up.
And it's almost like he's sort of mentoring him how to understand the whole avatar of Khonshu, and so obviously steering him a particular way, but he's learning about it from who's essentially the villain of the series,
like the Emperor.
I thought more like how Black Adam, if he mentored Shazam.
Yeah.
It's a previous holder of that magic, that ability.
And you're right, Michael. It is a fantastic show. I know he's always one of your favorite characters. I know a lot of people have always had Moon Knight as a favorite character, but a lot of people don't know about him. But I'm liking this. Even when, like, what I didn't care for in the first episode, which is still the same in this episode, when Khonshu talks, He's very. I find it almost hard to understand his voice a little bit. But again, I think that's you're supposed to be much like him, a little confused about hearing it.
Yeah, I think
overwhelming and
it gets
so.
it starts muffled and really loud, almost inaudible, to the point where in this one he's like understanding it. It sounds less muffled.
And I also like how they show the character quite a bit more now. Like in the first episode, it was just a lot in the shadows. But
Fantastic design.
And it looks real, like good. Obviously CGI,
which is a strange turn, and no pun intended. They released a new Doctor Strange preview, and the CG in that for some stuff does not look great.
Previews are never great for that.
Like there's a third eye on his forehead in one of the variants, and it just looks very fake. It's not great.
Yes, I'm happy with that. I really like it. The monsters look cool in here. The story's been awesome. How they introduced the Marlena character in there as well too. I'm very surprised that it was not a blonde. Oh, Lila, sorry. I'm very surprised that she's not blonde, but that's good, cool too. It's real cool. Really like it. I'm really curious to see, because we still have the Midnight Man to get introduced yet, which is the French guy that died. We still have him to get introduced in there. I've heard that Werewolf by Night's supposed to get introduced in here. So
I don't know that they have room for all that.
It could be just introduced like, oh, I heard there's werewolves. Let's go look them out. But yeah, but Midnight Man's definitely in here because he acted on here, so he might just show up in the last. From what I hear, episodes 2 and 3 are like they were yesterday, where a lot of more story
are set up.
The last 4 and 5 especially are tons of action.
Yeah, I think there's 6 episodes.
There is 6 episodes. But I heard 4 and 5 are all this nonstop action.
The original reviews for everything were between episodes 1 to 4, and they said 4 is where the story really jumps into all the action.
I think Lila will actually be Marlene.
Maybe she's got multiple personalities. Maybe the personalities fall in love.
Who knows? Who knows? She sure seemed to know about that the scarab. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's nice how we can talk about this show and it doesn't really do any spoilers.
Yeah, it's true. There's not a whole lot of spoilers or any context even relating to the wider MCU, which is nice.
But
this is their first project in a very long time that's been very separate.
I'm noticing lots of little Easter eggs, and other people are too. Like I saw on the bookshelf of somebody, I can't remember who it was, whose apartment it was. It was on Steve's shelf. It was Out of the Ice, and it was like the Steve Rogers story. I noticed that. And then there was on one of the box cars or something like that, there was the QR code. So apparently if you scan that QR code, it does something. I don't know.
The first one was Werewolf by Night, like his first appearance.
That was on the bus or something. It said no Werewolf by Night on it, 32.
Well, no, if you scan the QR code in the first episode, it brings you to a copy of Werewolf by Night.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't know that. But I'm just saying, I think someone else pointed out to me, I think it was Corey Stanish, pointed out on the front of the bus said BN32.
Yeah, the license plate.
Yeah, that's probably what it was, or the bus number.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying the series. I mean, we could talk about it forever. This has been a real treat. It's a good thing it's turned out so well. But yeah, beyond that, I don't think we got anything else.
No, that's perfect timing.
Yeah.
So, like we said, we can't start taking pre-orders yet until the 14th, but we will. And then as soon as next week, we will start putting up the trade dress and what both books look like side by side. I hope everybody wants to check it out because, one, it's going to be a great story in that. I'm really enjoying the large size books, so I hope everyone wants to check it out because of that too. They are making a Werewolf by Night show there, Michael. It will be coming out this Halloween. I
believe it's being done as like a Marvel Halloween special.
It is. It is a Marvel Halloween special, and he's going to be on there, and I believe there'll be other characters probably on there too, like there's Ghost Rider and Blade. I heard are going to be on there too, and I also heard like maybe Man-Thing.
That'd be interesting to see.
Well, yeah, because they're making the Legion of Monsters.
Yeah.
So,
but that's one thing you won't see.
And that is all from my source guy, the Mikey Sutton. which runs the Geekosity page there, which is all the scoops for Hollywood stuff, and he's always right. And scoops
Writer
and
of
comics
Dreamwalker.
too. And the writer of Dreamwalker. That's what I was leading up to there. So
all the coolest people are named Mike, Mikey, Michael,
Yeah.
some variation of it.
That's so funny. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's Spectro back up there.
Oh, something else I'd like to mention too that I've got in the works as well. I don't know anything more than what I'll tell you right now is that John Dexter and me were speaking earlier, and I will probably be getting some copies of for sure of Alpha Dogs 2 to sell to you guys. And I don't know, maybe I'll try to get out copies of Alpha Dogs 1 as well, because I would like to get first issue as well. So
yeah, and like Michael said, doing the colors was extremely tough. There were a few variations that we had, and we ended up taking some
drafts.
and just compiling them, taking
Yeah,
parts.
yeah.
So that'll
did an
be
amazing
interesting when we're able to actually get you on for an interview, and we'll closer to when the book actually goes for release, I think.
Yeah, we'll definitely get a few
do
times.
an interview with Michael, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so check it out. I hope everybody wants to get to get one copy of the trade, and maybe one of the Virgin as well, or just one of the trade. I don't know. We'll take what we can get. But like I said, we'll also have the 1 in 10 as well too, which is another Wando cover as well. That originally they had it as a B cover, but they never do B covers. They always turn them into 1 in 10s.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Don't forget, there's no Things Are Getting Sketchy show this weekend. So fill your time accordingly. It's tax time. Oh man, did I get nailed today? Oh.
With taxes. It's not because of the fancy suit.
No, not because of that.
Alrighty, everybody. We will talk to you all next week. If you haven't checked out Michael Bergland yet, check him out now, because he is going to start blowing up. Like Stefan's mentioned here a few times, he is going to be one of the next huge blow up artists from I think Canada for sure, if not North America. But yeah, we'll catch you all next week.
See you later.